And great things like in the darkness is where people invent and create, and that's where the mind is truly at work. So good stuff.
I wouldn't taken this career path. I said it, but I didn't really expound on it. That I wouldn't have became a filmmaker if I wasn't alone. Um, I don't know if I would have just jumped into a high paced work environment. I wouldn't have had the time to be by myself to let my mind wander. I think letting your mind wander in a conducive environment can be a really good thing.
Hmm.
Oh, oh, here we go. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, here we go. Yeah, yeah.
Today's today when we all rise.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Substitute Preacher Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Johnson, aka the Substitute Preacher. This is episode 4, and this one's special. I got a really great guest for us, one of my brothers, and I'd like to welcome Damon Hayes to the show.
How you doing, Isaiah? And the fans. Nice to see you.
Yep, good to have you, bro.
Yeah.
From the East Coast, where you at right now? Jersey or New York?
I'm in Jersey City, so maybe 15, 20 minutes from New York. Really close.
You consider New York, huh? All right, cool. And so just
Yeah.
and we'll get into your story and all that really quickly, just kind of how we met. We both went to Rutgers. You were a freshman when I was a senior, and
And I
we didn't
know
really
that
talk
either.
back
I
then.
thought you were like a junior or something.
Yeah, and exactly. And we didn't really talk like that. Like, not like there was beef or nothing, but we just, different stages in our careers and our life at that point. So we didn't really talk much. I regret it because you're a great dude, and we've gotten to know each other over these past couple years. Um, in the group
Sure.
chat, yeah, appreciate it. So, just mutual friends and teammates in the group chat, 2-3 years just talking, sending memes and jokes, and now we got our own. We almost every day we talk and message, and me, you, and Zane. So it's been great.
It's pretty consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, I appreciate our relationship. Um, let me see really quickly. You've kind of put the whole football thing, just left it in the past. I coach a lot of guys, try and hang on as long as possible.
Coming in hot.
Yeah. So we'll just be brief, and then I'm more excited, and everyone else is probably going to be more excited to hear what you're doing now. So I'm excited about that. Do you want to quickly just kind of talk about your football career and what that meant to you, and what you're moving into?
Yeah. I'll try to sum it up shortly. Yeah, lifelong dreams of becoming a professional football player, preferably in the national football. Started playing football when I was 9. Fast forward, got a scholarship on high school to go to Rutgers University. That's what I meant. I said,
Yeah.
and just to kind of give you the lineage, freshman year, played a little bit, did okay. Sophomore year, played more, did okay. Junior year, okay. Senior year, good. But I had enough to go to the league, and for whatever reason, things didn't pan out. And yeah, I don't know. I just have this like weird mindset where I finally came up with a term for it, where it's like I look at it like an ex girlfriend or something. It's like we had so much time together.
Yeah.
Poured my heart out to it.
Yeah.
And, made some mistakes, but you learn from it. But yeah, where I'm at now is I said I was gonna talk, but yes, it's tough to kind of shorten this up. But yeah, anyway, I ended up finding a job, and I was like really settled in this kind of corporate lifestyle, and I just felt really stable. It was too stable, and I just miss chase to do something. I've always liked film, so yeah, I feel like I got the personality that can fit the role of a filmmaker, so to say.
Yep.
So yeah, so right now.
Nah, awesome, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into that shortly here. How was the transition like from football and you more than me because most football players want to go to the league, including myself, and I didn't play enough. I didn't, I wasn't quite talented enough. You were being modest. You were because I looked it up too. You were honorable mention All Big Ten twice. Twice, yeah, yeah. And as a freshman, you was all on the all freshman team. That's like it's only a handful of dudes. So you were one of the top corners, and you go from that. Did you go to the combine? Were you invited?
Didn't go. Didn't get invited.
Okay, but you were in one of the All Star games. I remember you told me that. Which one?
Yeah,
For the Senior
NFL
Bowl?
PA bowl game.
NFLPA, yeah.
NFL PA.
And
NFL PA, yeah.
okay. And so at that point, I mean, what was your mindset? Because you were a great player. You received accolades and success. I know as a whole, Rutgers, we didn't, especially when I was there, but we didn't have the team success. But individually, like you kind of had everything. Athletically, you were a great athlete. So, like, talk me kind of through that. What was your mindset? Like, were you expecting to get drafted? And I'll let you kind of talk.
Just to clarify, just to clarify the mindset in that phase of like the draft period or after that.
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be honest. I never actually said this publicly, but in retrospect, I had a bit of a large ego. I'd say my senior year, I just felt like the scheme we ran for all the football fans, we ran basically zero coverage, just press quarter. So
Yep.
I felt like I did a good enough job in that defense to prove, and not to mention the fact that conference we were in. Now you can argue it's best conference in college football, Big Ten. By the time you say 1, 2, 3 at the least. So I felt like matched up against those guys.
Yeah.
Week in and week out. It's funny because I never had this like conversation in like years, honestly. But yeah, since we're like on the topic, I just felt like if I could match up with those guys, and NFL scouts would be able to see the potential and take a risk. But I think you say you have a lot of kids that watch this. Something I could just say right now that just came up.
Yeah, please.
Just make sure, just make sure you be able to have people in your corner that allow you to see things or like past what they are. I'd say in the moment, because just be honest, that you're going to have that mental capacity to be able to see things from a holistic standpoint at that age. People are coming out of college, 20, 21, some 19, 22 sometimes, but you're still young. So I would say have people in your corner that can kind of help you make some smart decisions, especially leading up to those years where everything matters, character matters, like all of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was really confident after the draft. Things didn't go the way I planned. The way I had planned, I remember, the night of the last day of the draft, I was really expecting to get picked up. I'll never forget, my agent texted me, I think it was day 3 or 4 of draft. He was like, today's the day your life changes, get ready.
Wow.
And the night that it didn't happen, so gloomy. It was so weak. It was dull. But be honest, we're gonna leave off on a negative here, but that's how face.
All right, so at what point were you just kind of over it and you're like, all right, I'm moving on, like now it's time for the next chapter, the next phase? I know you said you jumped right into work pretty quick. That's what happened to me too.
Yeah, so what's funny is I jumped right into work, not after the first time, but the second time. So after I didn't get drafted, I took some time off, and then I think because this was during the COVID span, that whole fiasco.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started training again. I was getting some calls to like possibly do some camp and stuff. Never came to fruition. But ended up going to the CFL in the year 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up going to the CFL, and when I say I like flipped the switch like even more, I was a pretty serious person, keen on hard work, discipline, and things like that.
Yeah.
But I would say like I felt like it was a revival moment for me to have another shot at playing the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So I went after the CFL again, and things on like even diet, sleep regimen, recovery, like really amplified those as far as aspects of the daily routine. And long story short, ended up getting cut in the CFL. I think I was there for a month, and it taught me so much just about how society works. When I'm saying society now, because I've been in the corporate world as well, but at the time, I was just thinking like this is how it really works. Because yeah, I played corner, nickel, safety coming out of college,
Mm-hmm.
and for this CFL team, I don't mention their name. I keep crying, but yeah, yeah, they only played me at linebacker,
Wow.
and that was just because I was the tallest out of all the. Now, granted, it is a little different
Yeah,
in the
nah,
CFL.
bro, because
It is a little different.
I was like, hold up, linebacker. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, still bizarre in my opinion, but
Yeah.
it is a bit of a shift as far as play style goes.
Yep.
For those Canadian football teams. So one thing I had an issue with in college was ego, like I said. So in the past, I would have been super resistant to that, but I realized leading up to that moment before I went to CFL, I have to be more humble. So I was like, okay, cool, it's fine. Let a few days go by, and yeah. So I basically texted my coach, "Hey, is there any possibility I can get some much in the corner?" He just flat out says, "Not an option. Coach wants to see certain guys in certain positions."
Wow.
So to answer your question, right, I say all to say this: laid my heart on the line, did everything that I felt was right, like in my heart, genuine, and didn't go a fraction of the way I expected. I'm like, oh, I'm going to CFL, played 1 year, 2 years max. I'm going to transfer to the NFL, get on some of my special teams, play nickel, like whatever, the whole,
Yep.
I really believe. But for it to go that way, I'll never forget it. I was cut on kind of like an accident. It's a funny story. I feel like, we got time. It's a funny story. I'm getting what we're in camp, walking up the stairs, and there's an elevator on the far side, and it's player personnel. The door opens. I like peek inside. You peeking something open, you peeking to see who it is.
Yep.
So I see who it is, player personnel. He says, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?" And I keep walking past. He said, "You know what? Matter of fact, I want to talk to you." And close the elevator. Said, "Come in real quick." I walk in, and you know how you could just sense something.
Yeah.
Something's odd.
Yeah.
Something weird. Because he didn't say anything when I walked in the elevator. So on the elevator going down, it's kind of silent. I just look up and say, "I get cut." Like, yeah, man.
Oh man! Wow. So he didn't say to that point.
Yeah. So no, he got on, and it kind of. I think he felt that I already had knew based off, I guess, just the way it all had panned out. Because he was with somebody else that he had just informed had been let go from the job. So
Dang.
yeah, I think he just knew, but it was hilarious. But to say all that, the next morning we were on a bus to the airport at I think 5 a.m. and it was just like we were nobody. So at that point, I knew. I said, okay, well, I never wanted to be that guy that's being asked, "Hey, what are you doing?" and your response is waiting a call. So
yeah,
and that was 2021.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I got a couple quick questions, and you have a story, and I have a story. We both laughed about maybe a few weeks ago with Zane that I want to just cover real quick. But just one more football related question before that. What I mean, I wrote some names down. In the Big Ten, you had guys like TJ Watt, Stephon Diggs, Saquon Barkley, Micah Parsons, DJ Moore, and the list goes on. Who was like the toughest, or let's say who was the biggest name that you had to cover as a receiver in your 4 years? Was DJ Moore there? He was there my senior year.
Oh yeah, sophomore year. But I don't think he was yeah, I guarded him sophomore. I'm trying to think who like some of the big receivers now because I don't watch them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think from the Big Ten. DJ Moore. Who else? Oh, Diggs. Diggs was there. I know my junior year for sure. I think that he left the year after because I remember Bless was guarding Diggs.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That must have been my freshman year. Yeah, I never guarded.
Yeah, and you're not even in tune with
But
the league now.
I know Garrett Wilson.
Okay, shoot, yeah.
I'm not. I'm really not. I know Garrett Wilson. Yeah.
Okay, how was that?
Freshman year, I think. Yeah, I think it was his freshman year.
How'd you play?
He was fast.
How'd you vote against him?
He was fast. They actually didn't throw the ball my way, but he was fast.
You strapped him.
They didn't throw the ball, so technically.
Nah, I got you.
I'll say that.
For sure. And quick story. So we were talking about this recently, and ironically, does the name Jake Browning ring a bell? Do you remember the name? I know you don't care about football anymore. that's UW's quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback, right.
And we played them freshman year. I'll go first. I'll kind of share my story, and then if you don't mind sharing yours about that whole experience.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Okay. Oh, about the negatives of that experience?
Yeah. But we'll flip it though. We'll make it a positive. So again, for the audience,
I'll leave it up to you.
This is my senior year, so that's my vantage point. Dame, his perspective, he was a freshman. So my senior year, we got a new coaching staff from Ohio State, Coach Ash. It was all new for me. For Dame, he was recruited, but they recruited you and everything, right? Coach Ash's staff. A little bit.
In the second hand.
Okay, yeah.
You know, because I was offered by Kyle Flood.
By Flood, okay. So Ash and them gets in there, and we go through hell. Like that off season was nuts. Just the lifting, everything was crazy. But we were confident. Like, were you feeling confident going in a week one? And I know you were a freshman.
Well, yeah. And looking back on it, that's all I had seen as far as college training is. But yeah I felt that we were going to win the national championship.
You feel me? So, and I told you and Zane this, but two of my friends and former teammates that I played with was there. The quarterback, he ended up backing up Jake Brown, and Tony Rodriguez from City College. We played together. And then Kevin King, he was their standout corner. We played in high school together. And so I'm messaging them, and me and Tone we bet on the game. Like, no, hey, we got a raw team. We gonna do this and that. We bet on the game. Again, I'm a West Coast guy, so my parents go to the game. And we get destroyed. I didn't play a lick. I didn't get in a single down. First time ever in my career. I didn't even play special teams. And so it was all bad. Jake Browning, he started yesterday, Dame, for the Bengals. He filled in for Joe Burrow and won. He went crazy. So it's just funny the timing that we're doing this. Yeah. Wow. For me, at least, I'll kind of flip it into a positive. I don't know if you had this experience. Obviously, you went on to have a great career. But for me, again, that was the first time I never played. Didn't get a single down in the game. My parents, my sisters, my grandma all came and didn't see me in. And so for me, I was like, dang, like I ended up talking to the special teams coach, and I'm like, man, is there any way I'm trying to get some reps. Backer, they obviously ain't gonna play me. I'm trying to get on the field. And so it was motivation for me. And I ended up, going hard on scout team, special teams. So I'm not even playing yet. He was like, yeah, just get on scout team. We'll see what you could do. and I went hard and grinded. And after a few weeks, finally, I earned a couple spots on a couple of the special teams. So, just really quickly share your story. You had someone come to the
Which
game.
one?
You had someone
Oh
come to
yeah,
the
right,
game
right.
too, and then just
Yeah.
kind of how that motivated you and changed the trajectory of your career. And you were young, at least you had an excuse. But go ahead.
I'll be honestly to say I was pretty motivated. It didn't really raise it. I was pretty
Okay.
really really motivated
Yeah.
at that point. It was just a natural response to what happened. But basically, along with Isaiah, that was the only game in my college career that I didn't play a
Hmm.
snap. And in order to tell this story in its full authenticity, I kind of have to give the backstory to
Yep. Go
say
ahead.
my mom and dad are divorced. So my dad lives in Houston, Texas, while I was living in Maryland in high school, and obviously Rutgers in New Jersey. So we never saw each other, and came to the game to see me. And like I said, didn't play a snap. I forget the score, but at least the 30, 40
Yeah,
point
40s. It
margin.
was close to 50.
Uh, close to 50. Anyway, I was so embarrassed that we lost like that, but more importantly, that I didn't play, because the psychology behind it is, well, if they're losing so bad, they should at least try you
Yep.
out.
Yep.
so, so yeah, to see they should at least see what everybody else says. Yeah, that didn't happen. And my father, we like after the games, you would get food, talk to family, friends, whoever came out to support you, get on the bus. And like I said, father came. I leave the locker room. I kind of see my father in the corner of my eye as I'm walking, but I walk straight past him, go to the bus, get on the bus, and somebody comes on the bus. Hey, your father's outside. I said, just tell him I can't see him right now. And
Wow.
yeah, he was really upset about that. Yeah, looking back on it, that was awful of me. But yeah, I was, I was. I don't. I'm not gonna say I regret that either. I really
Yeah.
cared about
I mean, bro, we
what I
put so
did. So
much into the game and into our craft, and like to go out like that is demoralizing.
yeah, yeah.
Like the
I
mental
don't think I
health
would take that back,
of
man.
these student athletes is it's in jeopardy, and it's tough to deal with. So don't beat yourself up from that. It's a funny story now, and you and your dad are cool now.
Hmm.
Yeah, so cool. We'll kind of move on from that. Um, you didn't really say, you kind of did, but your dad's was staying in Texas. You grew up in Maryland though. What was that like? DMV.
I would say it matured me
Mm-hmm.
really fast. I don't know, just like any kid, it's a fun time. Growing up in the community, so
Yeah,
I'd say I had fun, learned a lot, got in a lot of trouble. Luckily, not too much trouble, but yeah, fun. I ended up having to live with my dad for a little bit, sophomore year of high school. That was an interesting time.
okay.
He's a strict, very strict person. But it kind of rubbed off on me because I'm kind of a very strict person as well. So, but yeah, ended up moving back over there
Mm-hmm.
sophomore year, well, right for my junior year of football season. Finished the year. But yeah, any kid growing up in the neighborhood, you had friends, girlfriends, experiences.
I got you. Um, Now both of us were from out of state and made our ways all the way to New Jersey. What was and you ended up staying. Now is your home, Jersey, New
Yeah,
York
right.
area.
Yeah.
Was there any type of culture shock, and kind of the theme of the
Mm,
episode, which we'll get into, is isolation. But you didn't have any family or anything in Jersey, right? Like it was just you.
perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Just me. And I did that on purpose. Just tie in with what the theme is. Um, But to kind of piggyback on that last question, yeah, I feel like this is really well tailored for it. Well,
Hmm.
big culture shock. Where I'm from, the area is PG County, predominantly black. And yeah, I moved here college. I was exposed to this a lot. And yeah, it gave me more confidence to tear into this other side of myself that I was more happy to be in as far as like my skin. So,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, after the whole football shenanigans ended, yeah, I want to come back here. I want to move to New York initially
Hmm.
to pursue modeling. But I remember being back home, and I used to be an avid Instagram abuser
Yeah.
even, and all the content I would see would be coming from New York City. So I remember feeling I gotta go out there and do something. So the plan was to move to New York initially, but prices are skyrocketing high. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was either Jersey City or Hoboken, and Hoboken was kind of teetering around that New York range of prices as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we settled in Jersey City, and well, yeah, I'm sure you have more questions. Specific prices. So,
No, yeah, and you're more of an introvert, correct? You would consider yourself more of an introvert?
not even more of I
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm a
am.
little bit of both. Like it depends who I'm with, and so. But yeah, for sure. So
Mhm.
I've noticed just kind of in your story, there's this theme of isolation, but not in a negative way. Like my students and all these high school students, middle school students, like it's like a phobia. Like if they're by themselves, is they can't handle it. Like they get all nervous and tense. It seems like you kind of used it as fuel going from to a new college in a new state, didn't know anyone, grinded and excelled in your craft, and then now moving forward, you got to Jersey City, and then now even looking at your career, what you're starting. So yeah, I'll just kind of let you speak on that. How did isolation fuel you and kind of catapult you to like discovering yourself, your identity?
Hmm. Yeah, and it's funny because that last sentence you said really brought me to a deeper place. Okay, so I remember when football was over officially in my head, mine's made up. It was after I left Canada, got back, and this was the second time football was kind of over, so to speak.
Hmm.
And like I said, this was it. So I knew I had to get a job,
Yep.
and that was tough for me to be able to come to the realization of. But yeah, my agent knew his nephew was a regional manager recruit, so luckily got a job there.
Hmm.
Um, long story short, got fired from there, and I got fired because I couldn't believe that the average citizen is literally sitting in cubicle. Nothing wrong with it, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
25 now, so I understand this is the way of life, but I just couldn't believe that people actually do
Hmm.
it and are attentive and thorough. Because I'm used to being such a busybody. Our days are physical exhaustion,
Yep.
mental, mental to a certain degree, but it's more physical exertion. So, yeah, I was kind of BS my way, just trying to get a paycheck. Got fired, and I remember my mother has a really decent job, and I remember asking my mother, "Hey, like, what do you think I should do?" First time in my life, I had to ask my mother for something that's serious kind of magnitude.
Yep.
She said we should get a job at UPS. So in that moment, I knew it was over for me as far as benefiting from someone else's resources. My mother, no, I can't depend on my mother. I can't depend on
Hmm.
Rutgers University anymore. And when she said UPS, it wasn't out of spite. It was just she has a job, but she can't offer me a job. You know, um, it was kind of tying into why I do what I do now. Because I think it's really important to do what you enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
Then it's not work, and then you have that. Um, but yeah, isolation. I knew I was on my own at that point. But you already mentioned. I mean, me going to New Jersey from Maryland, it's only a 3 hour drive. It's not far,
Hmm.
but I've always believed that life is done in phases. I just really feel like you should just keep going where life takes you. At the time, I was 22, 23 years old, and in my heart, I just felt it was time to go somewhere else, and I'll move again someday.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of short, but
yeah, I got you. And doing them KP workouts, it always felt like it was it was you versus the world. Like no one there to help you. Them things was rough.
I'll be honest. I that it's more camaraderie than what I do now. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That is
No, definitely.
It's like night and day. I mean,
Mhm.
there you're at least you can visibly see your teammates struggling. Here,
Yeah.
you don't know how another, and not that it matters. It's I love it. I rather it this way, honestly. But yeah, you don't know what anybody else is doing to blam such and such. He's releasing this film this date.
Mhm.
That's a test. But yeah.
Got you. Was that the hardest thing you did? Just those 4 years at Rutgers? For me, it was. I was there 2 years, and I think about it like this: like again, the mental side, and you could relate, like being away from your family to an extent, and then the workouts. But on top of that, we didn't really have much team success. Like it was just all that combined. But I still grinded. Like that was the hardest I ever worked. And now I feel like any job I do, like that prepared me. Like everything else is kind of easy. You feel that at all?
I won't say it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Mhm.
I will say it prepared me for it.
What is then?
Yeah, the hardest thing I've ever done has been the years after to like where I am now. I'd say
Okay.
isolation.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't have. Yeah, God's been there, but I've had to maneuver
Mhm.
and figure out and fail here, fail there.
Yeah.
Try this career out, realize this career sucks.
Mhm.
Live in my mother's basement for a little while. Pride goes downhill. I've had those moments, and I look at it like I said, as far as what it's prepared me for, nothing compares to. Now, luckily, this didn't happen often, but nothing compares to getting beat in front of 10,000 plus fans
Yeah.
on Saturday night.
Mhm.
Nothing compares to that. So, the things I go through now, just kind of go back to that. But as far as what I'm literally dealing with on a day,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah, I understand.
just awesome.
I feel you. Let's see. Now you're getting into the film industry. You're in it. Yeah, you're in it. And congrats, you've been completed your first script for you. Where are you kind of at now? You just kind of talk me through that for the audience, kind of update them.
Yeah. Maybe I'll learn it after this comes out. Open I am. Refer to this here, so I'll say exactly. I've written 3 short films. 37-page script that was chopped down to 47. Another 5-page script. The next one I'm gonna write is gonna be my last short script, and then we're gonna move on gradually. That's gonna be roughly 20, 25 pages. But how I'm gonna do it is, this is gonna be my official entry to my philosophy and filmmaking, so to speak. And we're gonna start with like my writing process. It's gonna be fun for me to truly figure out my own writing process. But yeah, so how I'm gonna do it is I have a fundraising like kind of salesman job right now, just to kind of keep it light on, if I'm being frank. And it's like I said, it's fully commissioned, and just going around pitching to high school coaches, see if they can allow you to handle their fundraising. It's all about donation software platform.
Yeah.
But whenever I get my first one, I'm going to take a vacation somewhere around New Hampshire, Delaware, upstate New York, Vermont. We're going to go for Friday night, Saturday night, and over that trip, I'm going to finalize what I'm going to write on. It's been floating around and marinating in my brain for the past 2 months. We're going to finalize it.
Yeah.
Take a trip clear my head, finalize it, and come back and begin the ideation phase.
No, that's awesome, and that's inspiring. I'm looking forward to it. Going back to kind of the isolation thing, when you're just kind of brainstorming, what you just kind of elaborate on some of the benefits of being alone and like drawing inspiration and um in your writing and in your thought process.
So I'll be honest, I will never forget starting this journey. You know how the more you like certain things, click on certain things on Instagram,
Yep.
so around the time where I was involved in this film journey, film material content on my sport page. So I saw there's a writer, Phoebe. I don't want to mess up her last name, but I know Bridges is her last name. She's a writer.
Okay.
Great writer, really great writer. But she said being a writer consists of, I think it was 70% of solitude for pure procrastination reasons. Now, I won't say I'm a big procrastinator, but I'll be honest in saying I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the solitude that I uphold myself to maintaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said it to you in a group chat before. I think I can honestly say like 65 to 70% of my life is like, and that's not to kind of be a Debbie Downer with it.
Yeah.
I just thrive in that.
Yeah.
So, the average person, well, I don't know the average person, but I know a lot of people, it's good to be around a ton of people. It's good to have their energy kind of flow through you, spray. It's good to boost morale, all that. But some people, thrive in that. And, just kind of accept that I don't try to step outside my comfort zone. I think, while I'm on the podcast, I want to say, don't feel like forced to be this kind of life of the party guy. If that's not you, it's okay to you like chilling by yourself. There's nothing. I kind of struggled with that in my young years where, I felt in order to be kind of seen by, I don't know, girls or just people enjoying my head, like I exist, like go out, but I don't know. And it's something you learn over time, you kind of, now I don't know, I'm just really happy to be alone in the career path I'm in. Kind of to, so maybe I'm a little biased, but yeah, just want to say don't feel ashamed if you kind of like, so.
Yeah, definitely. And like I went over in my last episode, at least for me in the high school process, like isolation is something you're gonna experience. There's kind of no avoiding it. At some point, you're gonna either feel alone or be alone, whether it's even just something as simple as taking a test. But just in discovering yourself, there's times where it's fight or flight, and it's just you, and you just got to figure it out. But as like you alluded to, it's not a bad thing. And great things like in the darkness is where people invent and create, and that's where the mind is truly at work. So good stuff.
I wouldn't taken this career path. I said it, but I didn't really expound on it. That I wouldn't have became a filmmaker if I wasn't alone. I don't know if I would have just jumped into a high-paced work environment. I wouldn't have had the time to be by myself to let my mind wander. I think letting your mind wander in a conducive environment can be a really good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Letting your mind wander in a toxic environment, could lead to some casualties. But yeah, I felt like I was in a good spot as far as just I can cover my rent, I can survive, and yeah, luckily I had the time to let my mind wander. I didn't have too many distractions around me. I have a small circle of friends, as you know. For some reason, this stuff that's weird about me. I'm not into a whole ton of things. It's like whatever I'm into, it's like that. Maybe one other thing kind of counter a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of time on my hands. And I was able to kind of let my mind wander for a long, consistent period of time. And I just don't think I would have been able to achieve that if I had been letting other people's promotions, or I don't know, not like a sense of envy, but just what you're hearing, what you're allowing yourself, what you're allowing to, yourself to hear and seep to your brain, in some way have an impact. And for me, I had nobody, so it's my brain really went to just whatever I gravitated to
Yeah,
organically. And yeah,
absolutely. And you kind of answered my next question. This one, I know you probably have a lot to say about this one. But just as a whole, like, what do you bring to the film industry? What are you excited about? And obviously, you don't have to go in detail on like your ideas, your script, nothing like that. But yeah, what you got for us?
I'll try to sum this up. Talk about media, but I'll say the state of filmmaking is in a good spot, I think, because the floodgates are open for independent and unique filmmaking.
Mm.
I think the floodgates are open. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be in this era that can experiment in front of an audience that, is open to new. It's open to new and fresh. So yeah, they'll get me. They'll get me something new.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Now, do you have like one genre that you kind of feel more tied to, or you just kind of open to dabbling? Like, what would you say to that?
I think so a filmmaker can be a director and a screenwriter slash filmmaker. So I'm a screenwriter slash filmmaker. Not just I don't like kind of have scripts presented to me and I film like I write my own script. So I think in order to be able to achieve any kind of progressive career while being a screenwriter and a filmmaker, you have to kind of go outside of your typical genres. So yeah, do blame the devil.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, you think really any industry or profession, like the people who are more versatile, like those are the most successful ones typically, whether it's in sports, you can do multiple things or in film. Go ahead.
Yes, but just to be honest, like in film, because it's a one shot, you get one shot. Sports get plays. Get money invested, whether that's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions, right? And people are believing that not only are you going to do well, but you're going to get my money back. So if you do take the risk of jumping outside of a genre, and this is for any filmmakers out there, be really confident that you're going to pull it off. This is not to scare you, but go after, do anything you want, but just understand the business and that people. Because I'm saying this because I've tried to get a film produced, my first one ever. I've only been doing this for a year, trying to get my first one produced, trying to get it financed, and realize it doesn't work like that. Yeah. You either have to have a really good reel. But yes, I'm just saying to the point of venturing out and trying to experiment in different genres. Yeah, just be really confident in yourself. If you believe it, go for it. Just understand, each time you go to make a film, there is a chance that it could be your last one. That's just the tough reality.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. And just a couple more questions to wrap it up. Just in terms of your preferences, we talk movies all the time. We have
this is the conversation I want to have.
We have our differences. Me and you, I've liked most of the stuff you've recommended and shot my way. But you have what am I looking for? You like a specific type of movie, for the most part, I would say, and you've recommended some unique movies that I would have never thought to watch, but that was dope. Like I was like, hey, that kind of made me think, So real quick, let's go just in terms of actors. Like, who's your top 5 favorite actors? Just off the top of the head, whoever comes to mind. 4 or 5 dudes or women. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Al Pacino, Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson.
Jack.
Mm, gonna go-
Ooh, those are heavy hitters. Go ahead.
And I'll give Denzel this prize.
Okay, can't go wrong with Denzel. Two mobsters up in there.
Three, really.
3. Yeah, nah, you're right. So and they got a lot of a collection, just plenty of movies that are classics between those. So
It's just there's a lot of great actors. I'm
oh
obviously
yeah,
leaving like so many out, but just lineage and just being true to my era. Obviously, Al Pacino and Robert are my era. Well, honestly, none of these actors are my era, but the films I've seen, I don't know, they're just stood out.
I got you. And now just looking at films, like what few films come to mind is let's go with like your top 3 or 4 favorite ones for you, and then recommend a couple that maybe other people haven't heard of or haven't thought to see, whether it's an older film or just don't have the publicity, excuse me, as others.
Okay, so I give 3. I'll give 2 to watch.
Okay.
1, Scarface, Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer. 2 is Eraserhead, directed by David Lynch. 3, 2001: Space Odyssey.
Okay, yep.
And the 2 films that I would give are Vanilla Sky, Tom Cruise. People have seen it, but I don't think enough people in our area have seen
I never seen it.
Interesting film. Vanilla Sky, Tom Cruise, yeah. And give some time to beat you off a little bit. The Innocents, horror film.
Okay.
Old, black and white. Really good film.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. I mean, the last 2 or the recommendations, I'll have to check those out. But even Eraserhead and what was the other one? Your favorites? The last one.
Scarface is my favorite.
No, I've seen
2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah, the Space Odyssey. I ain't never seen it. I still owe it to you, so I gotta watch them. But you've recommended a few flicks that like made me think, or that I really enjoyed. So I trust your opinion, and I'm looking forward to you projecting your own creativity in the film world. I didn't warn you about this question, and I just got a few more for you real quick.
2 to few, like
I should have said 5. It's good. If you don't have to answer it if you can't think of one, or if you don't want to, but is there a film, maybe it's one of the ones you mentioned, but can you think of a film that if someone came to you and was like, Damon Hayes, you're killing it as a director or filmmaker, we want to do a sequel or a prequel to this film. Is there a film that comes to mind that you'd like to either, or you wouldn't mind adding to its legacy by coming up with a prequel or a sequel?
I didn't know what to expect when you said that was a good question. Right off the top, there's a film called Christine, older film.
Okay.
And it's about a possessed car. I don't even know what to say. I might be wrong on that, but it's about a possessed car that gets kind of attached to his owner, and then it's like weird, some kind of psychological relationship.
Okay.
I think it did well at box office.
Okay.
But yeah, Christine's this red car. I'll review that for today.
It
like
sounds
scary
familiar.
red car.
Yeah. Okay.
It was pretty good.
So
It's actually one of the posts on Instagram where the dude has a car looking in the foreground.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I don't know about that. I can't recall seeing it on Instagram. But okay, I'll look into that. Now, would you do like a sequel to it or like a prequel? Or just either? Prequel, okay. Okay. Nice.
I guess I never thought too in depth of that, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
I just want to see it again in some capacity.
Yeah.
Have that.
Yeah. I got one that you gave me that would be dope to have a prequel. is The Shining. So,
Oh no way.
nah,
No
like
way.
just someone
No
else's
way.
experience, like someone else
No way.
hotel.
No
No,
way. That's too much.
is
That's no. It's because the reason why I say never, dude. That's like considered honestly for most people, me included, like the best movie of all time.
woo.
So I'd never even try to nothing. Yeah, I don't even want to start a film with S. Like, nah.
I feel you.
There's one of those films where it's in its own lane.
I got you. Okay. Nah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure. Last I ain't gonna give you a number because I keep adding to it. I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
Really quickly though, we're both men of God and believers in Jesus Christ. Would you mind just speaking to that really quickly, briefly? You know, what impact he's had on your just your life in general, your career, if you want to go into that, but just kind of talk about that aspect of your life.
Yeah. Touch it. Yeah. I remember when things didn't work out and I felt that to feel kind of betrayed by that. But he always has a bigger plan
Absolutely.
because where I'm at now is I truly enjoy this more. That's why I watch it. It's like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so busy with what I do. And my flaw in football, whatever kind of held me back, is what I need so much in this new career I'm in now. That's networking, communicating with people, dealing with different personalities, being more of an extrovert. I don't consider myself an extrovert at all, but I've learned to kind of put on that extrovert kind of sit at times to be able to, be included in certain conversations, invited to, certain venues. So just God has I look at it saying like, oh, I understand why all these things happen because they led up to these moments, and things continue to spiral up, and I find myself not having an answer at all, and it's some doors. So
yeah,
God is,
yeah, and it's crazy. Like I wish I could put screenshots, and I wish I could show screenshots of the group chat, but like sometimes just it seems like fate, like stuff will just happen that just ties in with kind of what we're seeking or looking for at that point. So it's pretty cool. God is real, and he moves. I'm gonna say a quick scripture, and it was funny and this is an example. I wrote this scripture down in preparing for this interview, and it's the scripture of the day in the Bible app. So it was
today. I read it too. I forgot.
today, yeah. So it's Deuteronomy 31:6. I think it ties in well with this theme and topic of isolation, and that is, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. So, especially to you believers out there, you should already know that. If you're a non-believer, like, there is a God, and he's there for you, even when you may feel alone or be alone. If you're intimidated by that, he'll never leave you nor forsake you. So pretty dope. You got anything else before we skedaddle?
No, just really thankful and grateful to. So, sure.
Absolutely. Any last words or tips for? And you gave a lot, but for these high schoolers and middle schoolers.
You'll find it.
Yep, for sure. And we're going to talk about that this whole series. So appreciate you, brother. I do say a prayer before, at the end of every episode. I know you probably, I'll go ahead and do it. I won't put pressure on you to do it.
Thank you.
But real quick, Father God, I lift up my brother Damon to you, God. Just thank you for this time, him giving advice and just sharing his story with these teenagers who need you. As we kind of get into this identity series, I pray that more kids would just discover their true selves, who you intended them to be, and that they would seek after you and be comfortable in their own skin. You have a plan and a purpose for all of them. Bless Damon, God, and his career and all of his endeavors. Just much success. I pray that he continues to put you first in all of it. Bless anyone going through anything, any identity issues, any sick family members, anything like that. Thank you for being there for them. We love you and thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, my brother. Well, we'll be in touch. Again, thanks so much for coming on. I'm excited to get this out.
No problem, brother. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Peace.
All right.